This is an honest review of Teardown. Let's take a look. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the options first. The graphical options are pretty terrible. You can't really change anything. It does have a file slider though, so that's good. And the key bindings are, you can rebind some of them, but for some reason other keys are hardbound. I don't understand why games do this. Why? I mean, just let me rebind anything that I want. What does it hurt me to if I want to rebind something? So what are the graphics to this game? Well, the graphics are incredibly gorgeous. As you can tell, this game has built-in ray tracing that can't be turned off, but if you run VSync, cap it at 60 FPS, runs really good, no problems, no stutters, and everything worked out really good. So, what is this game? What is the whole thing about it? If you've played the Thief Simulator, you'll be able to relate to the flow of how this game works. So what happens is you're just this guy, and you get these emails on your computer from your mother who is saying, hey, listen, we're out of money. We need to start making money. And she's like, no matter how sketchy it is, we need to start making money. And then you get this email from this woman or this guy, or I forgot who it is, and they want you to go tear down this house because it's in his way, because he wants to use the land to build something else. And so you go there and you tear this house down. The physics in this game is awesome. Everything for the most part can be destroyed. Now, there are a couple of types that require certain machinery to maybe get to. So if you have the sledgehammer, you won't be able to get through a brick wall on your own. You may need to use a dumpster truck or a forklift or something to get through that. But for the most part, everything can be destroyed, and it's really fun. So you go and you break down this dude's house, you come back to your house, you don't do it on your own, you have to escape, and then it'll just load you back to your little hideout that you're in. It's not a house, but it's like a warehouse that you're kind of living in. And then you go and check your emails, and kind of right now what's going on is I'm running jobs for these people where I'm getting money and I'm getting better equipment and I'm upgrading my equipment. But what's happening is, guys, and this is just, it's hilarious. I love it. I absolutely love this. You'll go and ruin someone else's day, but no one knows that it's you except for the people that are hiring you. You'll go and break down like someone's water tower at their company, at Lee Company, right? And then what'll happen is the guy who you just broke down, the guy whose building you just absolutely destroyed, will contact you, and he'll be like, listen, I don't know who did this, but I know who's responsible. And he's going to be talking about the guy that hired you. So what he'll do is he'll hire you to go destroy the other dude's cars or something, even though that was the guy that initially hired you in the first place. Guys, you feel like a slime ball in this game because no one knows, really for the most part, that it's you that's doing all of this destruction. And it's awesome. It is so great. Now, the actual gameplay itself is really cool. So what'll happen is you'll have objectives. Maybe you have to steal tools. This one mission I had to steal tools for this guy. It was at this port. But what happens is that some of the objectives are tied to alarms. If you trigger an alarm, you have 1 minute to complete the primary objective, because there's primary and secondary objectives. You have a minute to complete the primary objectives before a helicopter comes in and it catches you in the act. So you've got to really sit down and you've got to plan, okay, how am I going to do this? What's going to happen? I know if I pull this here, will I have enough time to get from point A to point B so to get back to the truck, right? It's kind of stuff like that. Not all of them are like that, but once you start getting later, they do seem to be a lot more like that. By the way, I have about 4 to 5 hours in this game, so it's plenty of time to have a valid opinion on this. So, and that's really cool because you really have to think about, and you kind of get out of the mindset of just destroying everything, right? I mean, you really do have to like sit down and kind of plan. It's nothing crazy or anything like that, but you do have to think about the stuff that you're doing. Now, there are different modes in this game. There's a sandbox mode, and then there's a challenge mode, and then the campaign. Sandbox is just as you would suspect. As you unlock levels in the campaign, you unlock those areas for the sandbox, and then in the sandbox, you just destroy. You do whatever you want, and you just destroy everything. In the challenge mode, you go to certain maps that you've unlocked in the campaign, and then there's certain objectives that you have to get done in a certain amount of time, and then you do that. I haven't tried any of those simply because I'm just enjoying the campaign. The campaign is this, I love being this double agent for all these people. Guys, it's hilarious because what you'll do is you'll come back from a job that you just completed, and then it'll show up on the news on your TV reporting on the job that just happened, but no one knows that it's you. It's on sale right now for $14.99, I think, or $15.99. Normally it's $20. I definitely think this game is well worth $20. You can get a lot of fun out of this. Apparently there's 40 campaign missions. I mean, you can go as fast or as slow during the campaign that you want. I will say it does get very monotonous. It can get very boring, just kind of growing through and just destroying everything and everything. But if you treat all the campaign missions differently and not just try to destroy everything, I mean, obviously you can, but if you like I said, if you sit down and you really try to plan out how to get stuff done, it's not as bad, right? It's definitely well worth the money for that. Now, in regards to the progression, your progression is tied directly to the type of tools that you use, right? So you might have a sledgehammer, you might get a shotgun, you might get bombs, pipe bombs, you might get a flamethrower. There's all kinds of stuff that you unlock to create as much chaos and mayhem that you possibly can. And guys, it's great fun. Like I said in the beginning, you can use forklifts, you can use dump trucks to just cut through everything, and it's great. The game looks great, it feels great on mouse and keyboard. I didn't notice any performance hits. Of course, I was using VSync, so I didn't really let it go unlimited frames or anything like that. I didn't have any crashes, and I didn't notice any bugs. This seems to be a very nice, polished game. Really good fun. It's, I could see how someone could just sit down and just grind this out. But, this is kind of like, all right, I'm going to play for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and just kind of have a little fun. It's not an entirely serious game, but it is good fun. So there you go, guys. Just a really quick review for you on this one. We've been having a really shit show with just some terrible games lately, and I found this, and thank goodness it was a good one. So there you go, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.